Peace be upon you and welcome to another tutorial in JavaScript and HTML and CSS. In this video we're going to do the slide and show pictures. As you see on the screen, the picture is sliding in one and another in a really good mode. And also we're going to use just a bit of CSS to add this border here and a bit of radius and center the image. Alright, simultaneously I'll go with all of that. So here the third one, and here the second, and here the third one, and here the fourth picture. Up to now we called the source images, and simultaneously we add them to this array by giving them its places in this array. I hope you get the idea how the array works, or I'm going to explain in a second here. For instance, if I defined, as I defined already, that images have an array, empty array, and I have 4 pictures. This array has an infinite numbers, like from 0, and it's going up to the infinity, or in. Alright? So I have here 4 pictures. It's like this array of images have just 4 places, like 0, 1, and 2, and 3, like this. I depended the first pixel inside of this place by doing this: images, the first place of it, append to it or insert to it this image source, image1 source.jpg. And the same thing I've done with all the 4 images, or the images that I had. And you could do as many as you want of images and call them all like this. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to let the pictures change. Alright, change to loop like loop it right now. I'm going to create a loop to loop it through all the pictures and display them. So change images. To do that, I'm going to create a function, and I'll give it a name of function, and give it a name of change or loop image. It's really not matter at all. Just give it a name. Alright, first of all, inside of this function, I'm going to call these images to add inside of this structure, or this part, this image, to add these 4 images inside of it. So how to do that? I'm going to bring this to me. To bring it, I'll go with document dot if I have here a class name, I'll go with get the get element by its class name, or by its ID, or it's use this query selectors. But here I'm giving a name, so I just type the name like this, slide. But what I'm going to need here, I'm need the source, to add the source. So I create the source like this. What is going to equal? It's going to equal this images array that I had added to there. Alright, it's here. So just to understand what I've done here, I'm going to copy this. It's like this. Alright, these images, when I typed them in this way, it is the same thing like I typed them in this way up here. Say they are the same. Alright, here images, this, what I need to look through them, I'm going to call the I, the first, or the start point, like here, 0. So the I, like this. Now it's clear. So what I'm going to do after adding these pictures inside of this to show up on the browser or in the HTML page, I'm going to do an if statement. For instance, if I have just 4 pictures and the I is going to be up to the infinity. So what is going to do at that point, there is no picture 5, we are just up to 4 or 2 pictures. What's going to happen if we don't have that number of pictures? So I'll go with if statement, if I smaller than the images length. So images dot length, and the image's length, it refers to these pictures, how many pictures that I have. All right, so what I'm going to do, if the images is smaller, or the number is smaller than the length of the images, what I'm going to do, I want to increment by 1 this I to just loop through the other pictures that I still didn't display on the screen. Alright, so I'm going to do like this. Otherwise, if it's, for instance, here, like for instance, the I have here 4 pictures, and the I is equal to 5. Alright, what is going to do, or just equal to 4, what is going to do, we wanted to restart over, to bring it from the start. So else I'm going to return I to its first value, so I equal to 0, the start point. If I give it here a 1, like a start point, also here I change it to 1, and here I return it to 1. But it's still actually going to happen a mistake, but I'm not going to show you up to now. I will explain something here. Alright, what is going to happen? That I have here 4 pictures. The I, or the start point, it is equal 0. So the start point equals 0, and the length of the picture is equal 4. So it's smaller than the length of the images, and it is images length. We have 4 pictures, so the length of the pictures is equal 4. Alright, clear now. And just take into consideration that 0, 1, and 2, and 3, it is 0 in this case equal to 1, the first picture, the second picture, and the third picture, and the fourth picture. So it's like 3 equal to 4 in this case. Alright? Just take it into your, or note it in your book or something. First of all, what I done here, I grabbed the picture. Let me zoom in. I grabbed the first picture here and add her to the, and display it. So this is the first picture. It's going to automatically display on a screen. So this is the first picture. Then what it's going to do is going to process this case. If it's I smaller than the length of the images, in this case it's real smaller than the length, what is going to happen, I said increment by 1. So it's going to increment by 1. I is becomes, or becoming, equal to 1, and 1 it's still image length equal to 4. Automatically is going to display it first on screen. This line, it's going to apply this line first, and it's going to display the second picture. Then it's going to analyze that I is still smaller than 4, or the length of the picture, and then it's going to increment again by 1. So I becomes equal to 2, and again it's going to display the third picture, and so on. And here smaller than 4 is going to increment by 1, and it's going to become equal to 3. And if 3 is not smaller, by the way, is automatically actually it's going to display the fourth picture. Alright, but here there is a problem. 3 in this case, it is equal to 4. As I said already, that's 0, 1, 2, 3. It is like the first picture here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So 3, it's not smaller than 4 in this case, but it's equal to 4. So after displaying it, it's going to do a process here, and it's going to find that, and what it's going to do, if it equal 3 equal to 4, is going to return I to its first value. And it is this value here. So I equal to 0, but it's going to display, before it's going to return the I to its first value, it's going to automatically display a 5 picture that we don't have. that we don't have in here because we have just 4 pictures. So how to fix this? I hope you get the idea. After finding this, I equal to 2 smaller than 4 is going to display the 4th picture automatically, and then it's going to increment it by 1. Then it's going to find 3 equal to 4, is going to return its first value, and automatically it's going to display a 5th pictures even if we don't have its source. So how to fix that is if we are going to go here to subtract 1. And now, if we subtract 1, it's not going to display the 5th picture, and it just is going to do, it's just going to return its first value, and it's I equal to 0. Now, I think that we are good to go. And now I'm going to set a time to let the pictures take a period of time before the next picture going to display. So how to do that? I'm going out of this if and else statement. I'll go with set timeout. All right, and call the function it is change image like this, and here I'll set the time. I'll leave it to 3 seconds. To do that, I'll leave it 3000 milliseconds, or you could just define here like time and go up here and define another variable, call it time like this, and equal to 3000 milliseconds or 3 seconds. Now how to let this display in a screen? I'll go out of this function and still in JavaScript code here. What I'm going to do, I'll go window dot when we'll load the picture, when we'll load the web page. What you're going to do, I want you to bring me this image here, this function image change, and apply it. So change image like this and apply it. Now I think that that everything is looking good, and what I'm going to do right now is just to go back and run this website. So let me open this file and click on index. So the picture is actually sliding, but it's so big. How to fix that? I'll go back here. I'll go create after the title right away. I'll do some styling like this. I'll go with the image. I'm gonna give it a width of 17%, for instance. If I reload the page, now it's smaller and it's looping. So it's like a beautiful slideshow right now, as we expect it to be. Now how to center the image and everything. I'll just create a div and call it that center like this. I'll grab this image, I'll pass it inside of it. I'll go at the top, I'll go with that center, I'll do the display to flex, I'll make the justify content to center, and also the align item to center. Now if we reload the page, it is in the center. We could give it a margin top here, like some margin top of 5%. Now it's going to push it a little bit down and give it a border of 4 pixels or just 3 pixels, and make it solid, and give it a steel blue color. Now if we reload it, it is right away on a picture. Let's just make it a little bit bigger, like 5, and give it a padding of 2 pixels around the picture. Now as you see, the picture is, let me reduce this to 4 like this. Now as you see that the border on the picture, and there is this space here of white, that's the padding. So this is how to make the sliding show. It's an easy way, and I explained everything specifically how it works in the background. I hope you get the idea and understand and figure everything out. And thanks for watching. See you for the next tutorials.